Longest time, guys. Yeah, I'm happy to be back in a way. This is gonna be a live update video because a lot of people said I should give a live update what has been happening. Yes, I know that some of you might have thought that I got demonetized. It's been 6 long months. I just checked the last time I uploaded a long video. It was that Apostle Chidi Chikelo here in the UK. That was 6 long months ago. I was thinking that it was just 4 or 5 months, but I'm back again. Yes, I'm back again. And it wasn't easy for me anyway, but the Lord is faithful. Some thought that I was demonetized, but I know that it was surprising to a lot of people seeing my shorts that ads still runs on my short videos. In fact, I put my short videos on private at a certain point. You know that I never knew that you can't turn off ads on a short video, YouTube short video. You can hardly switch off the ads. Rather, you can only put it on a private mode, because I removed monetization. Yes, I personally turned off monetizations for all my videos on YouTube. And guess what? I have about 700 videos. Gee, it was tough for me, though I did that batch by batch at some point. Yes. So because it's not as if I didn't want the money, but I didn't want the money to keep coming, so that I wouldn't cash out within a certain period of time. Yes, and for the short videos, I decided to private a whole lot of them. But then the collaboration I have with Shane, I couldn't cancel that collaboration because if you notice, at some point it was mostly the collaboration videos or the whole videos from Shane, especially short videos when I display their clothes that I was putting out there. Yeah, and I left them because it was a collaboration, So it's been a journey, 6 long months. It's not today. We sit out here, we talk about so many things about this and that, UK life and the whole lot. Even though I stayed away from making content about the UK laws and the whole lot of that. Yes, a long time ago. Yeah, because the laws keep changing all the time. By the time you finish talking about one this week, the next week they wake up again, they change it. It hasn't been funny because in the last 2 years or less than 2 years, the UK have had about 3 to 4 PMs. I don't even know the name of the current one that just came in last week or so. After Keir Starmer, the current one, to be honest, I haven't learned his name yet. So we don't know what that one is bringing to the table. If I thought he hasn't said this and that. The most terrifying thing is me having to meet a lot of our people who came in earlier with their dependents. I was speaking to one last week. It was devastating because they applied for their sponsorship, which is COS, last year's August through NHS because the husband is working with an NHS and they've been waiting for it. Family of 5. The COS came out and guess what? They didn't give the family members. They only gave the man the COS. They say dependents are not allowed anymore. Whereas these dependents have been here with this man for over 2 years plus. And the wife, being smart again, she works in a care home. She also applied. Guess what? The care home gave her. They did not include her children. It's sad. It's heartbreaking, to be honest. So all of these things, though I've already decided in the past, not talking about this, I'm not even a satisfied immigration advisor or officer, so I quit that aspect. I do my lifestyle here and all of that. So back to what took me off. I know a lot of you will be itching to know, but before I go into that, I would sincerely appreciate a lot of you who took their time to write me. Yes, Ogom Serge, many thanks to you. You don't even live in the UK, but you remember that I haven't been coming on here. You took your time, you wrote me. Treasure Kitchen, my 5 and 6. Treasure Kitchen, I promised you I was going to do this video 2 days ago, 3 days ago, to no avail. Thank you for always being there for me. Despite the fact that you lost a niece, Chidinma, who was already 23, yeah, but she died of cancer. A lovely, charming girl that is blooming, who just finished her university. It got me broken when this happened. I think that was around 3 months ago or thereabouts. May her soul rest in peace. Amen. It's sad though. And Praise TV, thank you so much. You are on here. Mommy Ifechi, yeah, she's always reached out. In fact, she knows everything, yeah. And Jessila TV, a couple of you that I can't even name. A lot of you ask someone in the comment section, Chi, where have you been? Even somebody officially requested for this live update in the comment section. Many thanks to all of you. Since 1 year ago, I moved to Southampton. You know, I've met a lot of people here, people who knew me from my channel here. It's been wonderful. Yes, even last Saturday I went for a Nigerian picnic. I met another person. Oh my goodness, it's been lovely. You know, so staying out of this YouTube entirely, when I see people who know me from here, I feel like, oh my God, I can't just quit like that. But it's been somehow tough for me. Yes, you know, getting back on here. In fact, there was a day I tried to do a thumbnail for a short video that is up to 3 minutes. I couldn't even figure out how to do it again. So when you leave something, the thing leaves you. For me to start again now, I need to go and start learning some of these things. I can't see myself. I think the sun has gone down or something. I don't know what is happening. All right, coming to the update as to why I stopped uploading on YouTube in the last 6 months. Yes. Sorry, I had to change position. I forgot that the British weather, you know, it's sunny, it's summer, but the weather, the sunshine is so epileptic, it can still go down and change in color again. Yeah, so forgive me for that. It's nature and not me, you know. So why I stopped uploading, you know, this issue of if you are hired to work in a particular field or job, you are not expected to be doing 20 hours extra in a different field. You know, as the main applicant, somebody who has the COS, you are not supposed to take extra job, even if it is 20 hours outside of your field. Yes, this was actually the major reason I quit, because I was on here doing my business, forgotten that everything I'm doing on here in YouTube is actually in my husband's name, my husband's detail. As a dependent, I am allowed to work any job, own any private business or businesses, you know, here in the UK. Yes. But then the main applicant, who is the man of the house, is not allowed to do so. Yes, my channel was created in Saudi Arabia. That was 5 years ago, probably in April 2021, when my first channel got demonetized. I was at home. Remember, in Saudi Arabia, I wasn't allowed to work, and it was written on my visa that I'm officially a housewife, restricted, not allowed to work. So when that incident happened, when my first channel, Chief Friend Jonah, is still there. I think I have 3,000 plus followers following me there. You know, so I became somehow redundant at home. I was already in prison in Saudi Arabia, sort of, in quotes. You know, the kind of lifestyle. I shared all of that in my previous channel, Different Jonah. Not working, not going out, no interaction with the physical world, not going to church, no social interaction. My son, it was something else, living in Saudi Arabia as an immigrant with just my child. It wasn't easy for us, you know. Now, when they took that YouTube, or when it got demonetized, my husband thought, oh, okay, I don't want you to be bored, staying at home, doing nothing. You know what? Because I appealed, but I didn't get through with the appeal to restore my YouTube channel, you know. And then my husband said, okay, it wouldn't make sense if I should be sitting at home. I'm already bored. But YouTube, creating content, it keeps me busy at home here. So he decided to create this very channel for me using his details. And guess what? He created it in April 2021 for me. And then we moved to UK in August 2021. September 2021, this very channel got monetized. Yes, when it got monetized and it got verified, everything came in his name. You know, the verification letter or something or PIN from the US. You know, after 3 years, if you're in the UK, you have to renew that tax information. Mine was renewed around 1 year ago or thereabout. It still came in my husband's name. Guys, the sun is too hot. I'm sweating, you know. I just didn't want to set up my light and everything in the room. No, I don't want to do that. I don't have that strength. I'm even cooking. Just parboiled meat. I decided to do this now because I don't know when I'll find time to do it. Forgive me, you know. So when he set up this channel for me and all the verifications, it was done with his BRP as at then, you know. So as time goes on, I forgot. I started living my life, doing my thing, earning my money, making my content. You know, I was even one of the people that kicked against people who are already in a healthcare job or something like that, and they are doing extras. Yes, that is not allowed. I probably may have made a video about that you're not expected to take up extra, blah, blah, blah. Yes, forgetting that my own channel was suffering from the same issue. You know what I mean? You know, when this thing got done on me around, I think January this year, especially when I renewed that tax information that came in my husband's name from the state, I said, wow. So it is assumed that my husband owns my channel. I'm wondering, have you ever seen my husband on this channel? It is usually rare for you to see a glimpse of him. Sometimes, I think he's camera shy, even though he has bought a big camera over 2 years ago. Yeah, I remember I took you guys along when we purchased that Canon camera. I don't even use it. I'm comfortable with my phone because it's easier for me to film using my phone and edit on my phone rather than trying to transport stuff from a camera to the laptop and blah. I don't have that kind of patience. This is the reason I haven't bought this DJ Osmo, you know, the Osmo 5 camera or Promo 5, I don't know, because you have to do the same processes. Instead, I'll go for a higher phone. I'm okay with Samsung. You know, sorry about that. But if you can suggest any camera that is tiny, that I can easily transfer stuff back to the phone and edit, I'm happy to get that camera. Yes, forgive me, guys. You know, so you hardly seen him on here sitting down to talk. He's very busy. He's a very busy person, working and all of that. So I was so worried, yeah, for a man who has worked so hard, and all of a sudden this tiny thing would become an issue between him and the government of this very country as well. So I decided to take a break until further notice. Stop the money from coming. In fact, I contracted a lawyer, even though ChatGPT really gave me the best information I wanted, other than a lawyer did. But I paid a lawyer £50, you know. So I decided to stay off for some time. Yes, and then I tried to start something on Facebook. I was being a bit lazy. You know, YouTube pays better. For on YouTube, on Facebook, unless you are bigger. But to be honest with you, while I was just minding my business, Facebook paid me. I told Ogum Serich, $300 and something. I wasn't doing anything on my profile. I saw 300 and something. I was not posting. What I do was to share stuff on my status. So I was like, how did this money come? I was screaming, or did they pay me someone else's money? And then I became serious on Facebook, and I'm not seeing the money any longer. You know, even though they were supposed to pay me, I think $81, that was around 3 days ago, but it was delayed because I did an update on my account statement, so that really delayed it. So they said on the 31st should be in 2 days time or so. Fingers crossed they pay me, but it's quite hard over there, you know. And TikTok, I've gotten a little thing, even though I'm not up to 10K followers. My page that refused to grow is my Instagram. I don't know whether village people cost the Instagram or I can't really say, you know. But it's quite a hard work doing all of this, because since January, I started working, luckily for me, as in full-time. Not that I haven't been working, you know, I'm a part-time LA. But since January, God blessed me. I was opportune to get a job in my son's school. Previously, it was the school next to his, so it was easier for me. But like I always said here, what you cannot do, don't keep on doing that and excruciating yourself, because I tried. The job was meant to be extended, but I said no, because I couldn't just do it. It was in a school anyway, but I worked there for like 3 weeks. Despite that, I had a Nigerian lady, an Igbo lady there, the same name as me, who was gingering me to. I said, no, I can't do this. I can't do this, because I used to have sorry, I'm on iron tab, low iron thingy, though that has been corrected. But that kind of, I mean, the nature of the job wasn't really where you have to stand all day long. And I said no. I felt sad. You know why? My son's school next to that school. As God may have it, immediately I said no to my agency that I have to quit. Guess where they sent me? To my son's school again. And I got there, I told them the truth, because I was scared when they mentioned to me that I would be in a year 6 class. My son is in a year 6. Do you know what it means? And the day I got to my son's school, I got there, I met with the admin, the deputy head teacher, and then the person I was supposed to be supporting, because it was one-to-one, they were talking. They mentioned the name of my son's teacher, the class. I said, oh my God, this is my son's class. So as the woman was about to go, carry out a sort of induction, walk me into my son's class, I said, excuse me, I have something to say. I had to confess to her, look, my son is in this school and he's in year 6, in the same class you are taking me to. She said, oh no. And then she took me back to the office and told the head teacher. That one was like, oh no. So they had a chat. I think the son has disappeared again. Guys, I can't even see myself. Oh, he's coming back. This is magical. So guys, what they did for me was to have a chat. They went to my son's teacher. He said, yeah, it's okay. So I was taken to my son's class. Fortunately, I think he was in a different class, because normally in schools they move to different classes. My son's school is the biggest school. It has the biggest size of children. Imagine 150 year 6 children, 5 classes, year 6, year 5 classes, 30 in each of the classroom, year 4, the same thing. So you can imagine the size of school, how big it is. So when I got to the class, I met with the teacher. I stayed there for math lesson. I wasn't comfortable. I believe that she wouldn't be comfortable. No teacher would. Imagine having a parent whom you are accountable to working with you in the same class. Thank God my son wasn't in that class that day. Already I've told my son at home, you see, when you see me in your school, I'm coming to work in your school. Please mind your business. I'm here for work and for the money. Don't mommy me, okay? He said, okay. And I told the deputy head teacher, this is what I said to my son, I've already told him to mind his business. She busted into laughter. So after that day, they didn't call me back. I did well with the person I supported that day, because they observed me with the camera, they were watching. Yes, they already told me, and then I didn't come. That was on a Monday. Tuesday, I did not come back. Then Tuesday evening, I got an email that the school wants me to come back. They want to place me on a long term from that February until July. Yeah, this July. Wow, I was dancing. Guess what? When I got back, I started working in year 5. Which was fantastic. It was a brilliant experience, if you know what it means. My son's school is about 20 minutes drive away from our house every morning. Imagine dropping off and going to look for elsewhere to go to work as an agency worker. It was difficult for me. Yes, kudos to one African lady like that was helping me, Shanice. The husband is British. So when I used to get a job in a secondary school where I was meant to start 8:15 in the morning, I would drive Somto down to their house 7:50. The woman or the husband would walk Somto, and their 2 children, they go in Somto school. I think I've shared something about her here. It was like a godsend to me. She helped me until the time I started working in my son's school. So it was really amazing in the last 5 months. Yes, we go to school at the same time, we come back at the same time. So it was less stressful for me, you know. Yeah, we just concluded this July. They really missed me. I told them I'll be leaving. They thought I would have applied because there are vacancies, but there's no way I could resume there because something is going to a different school. Something will be going to a secondary school, a Catholic secondary school in September, which is awesome for us, isn't it? It's all grown. And guess what? Yes, you want a life update. I've also gotten a job in a secondary school this time. They also have a college. I think I'll be starting in their college section on the 1st of September as a full-time worker. So this will be the first time I'll be doing a full-time job as a full-time employee in a specific school. And the beauty of working as a full-timer is that right now we are on a summer holiday, 6 long weeks, and guess what? I will not be getting paid because I've worked as a part-timer, but as a full-timer, anytime school is on holiday, you get your money paid. So this is the first time I will have to be doing that. So it's been blossom for us. It's been amazing. Yes. And a couple of days ago, I had to turn back monetization in all my videos. In fact, I made a mess. I think at some point, even some shorts I uploaded like 2 years ago, like the house thing in Nigeria. I didn't know that it came up. You might have seen it in my short video. So guys, this video has become too long. My apologies, please. It's a live update. So we are back again like we never left. Everything is normal now. But I've got a couple of videos that I've made in the past places. Whenever we visit some places, I make video and bring them up here. The sun has disappeared again from my calculation because so right now we are back, and we are back like we never left. Yes, but then what to expect? We will keep up with what we've been doing, just that I've got some videos I need to push out. We've been to a couple of places within the UK lately. You might see a lot of travel vlogs and a whole lot of that. So there is nothing special, just that I'm not sure that I'll keep up with, going on social media to scan for news and all of that. But then I would also like to introduce inviting people to have a discussion on a particular pressing topic about relationship and all of that, like I used to do in the past, because I can understand that those topics really help a lot of people. Even comments, those of you that contribute through your comments, it helps a lot of people to learn and learn certain things. So we'll continue with that. And as a daughter of a businessman, yeah, nature. My father was a renowned businessman, just like Peter Obi. I've always got product review. If you check my dashboard, or what is that called, YouTube banner, you will see it has been there since time immemorial. So I will still go into that more and more to review products for people, and then make this video because I'm not promising posting 3 times in a week, but for this month of August you might see videos every day because I want to push out what I've got. Then subsequent from September that I'll resume work. Honestly, if I do 2 times in a week, I think I may have tried. Yes, so please don't expect anything special, but we'll keep up and do our best. Thank you so much for your maximum support. Thank you so much for your reaching out. Thank you so much for always dropping your comments, for your likes, and like this video as well. Yes, we are back again like we never left. Bye for Mommy Ifechi. I want to say a big thank you to you. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Mommy Ifechi, for your kind words. Yes, I sincerely appreciate that. Yeah, she has been in touch from time to time. Yeah, she's like a big mama to me down here in the UK. Yeah, Mommy Ifechi is 60 plus or thereabouts, and yeah. So somebody that's senior you with 20-something years. Now my mama did this, so I don't get her no doubt. And Jessila TV, Jesus Christ is Lord. Hey, you know that woman? Yes, this is her channel. These are people I look up to here on YouTube. Before I post anything, I'll tell my husband, I hope Mommy Fechi will not scold at me. I hope Jessila TV, Jesus Christ is Lord, will not shout at me. Thank you so much, mothers, mommies, for being role model to me. here on YouTube and on social media. Yes, it's good when you have somebody to be afraid of when you want to do certain things online here. God bless you all, sweet mothers, and bless your home and your children. They all have their grandchildren. God bless you all. And all my friends, the single ones, the unmarried ones, I love you all. Yes, you are blessed once again in Jesus' name. Amen. Bye now, and thank you.